Back in our NESN studios and back on our social channels for a second intermission update and report with Billy and Brick as the Bruins are leading 3-1 after 40 minutes. Guys, we're going to talk about the PK, another too many men on the ice penalty, and a couple of goals by defensemen. But we're going to start with I'm going to try to go chronologically, with the Florida Panthers. Matthew Tkachuk scoring first off of a turnover.
What did we say in pregame? We said eliminate backhand passes that aren't connecting, and McAvoy has a backhand pass, does not connect at all. Barkov is above the puck, third guy. And then it's just a quick turnover, and Tkachuk gets it, sizzles it. I think it does deflect just off a little bit of Lindholm's Hampus's leg, but still, that's a heck of a shot. I mean, he puts it right through there. And it's the kind of turnover you got to avoid. You got to keep the puck off the wall, Brick, more, I think, on these breakouts, and lob it out more if you have nothing else.
Yeah, it's a painful goal to give up because you got supposedly your top pair D out there. You have possession of the puck. I didn't like the route that Beecher took in the first place. You know, he comes back, he handles the puck, he gives it to Lindholm, and then he curves in the direction of where Lindholm wants to pass the puck. So it was just disjointed. It didn't look good, didn't look smooth, and then when the backhand pass goes off the boards, he's off his angle. He's off his angle to receive the puck.
Where would you have liked him to be? You said you didn't like
Stay right in the middle of the ice. Even if you put the brakes on, you know, like a guy like Zacha, whether you like him as a player or not, in the middle, he'll stay in the middle of the ice to give you an outlet. You know, he doesn't swing to the boards for no reason.
Right.
You know, and I'm not putting this totally on John Beecher because the Bruins had possession of the puck, but I don't like that route to begin with, and it makes it hotter than it should be.
Guys, we counted the amount of too many men on the ice penalties through the first round, and of course, this is a game and a half in 4. So that's 1 too many, 4 too many?
Especially for a Boston Bruin organization that has been has had some classic too many men on the ice calls. But Brick, it's coming down to communication between coaching staff and players, listening from the players, and knowing who you're up for, this is not just a one-person thing. This is now an organizational thing with these guys.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. We're not on the bench, and we don't know. We don't know what the communication style is. And if you're a player and your assignment is a matchup, you know, and you're looking at Florida, you keep looking at their bench, see if your guy's coming out, and you want to go out there and play against them because that's your job. And sometimes, you know, another line thinks they're going, and you see Barkov come out, and you jump because you're playing against him all night. Now you got too many guys out there. Maybe that's the issue. It's a guess, an educated guess, but the simple answer is knock it off.
Well, this wasn't a close too many men on the ice. This was 6 guys visibly in the picture. Too many men on the ice.
But again, good PK.
Unbelievable.
Good big. You know, you kill those off. Again, it fuels your attack. It fuels your confidence level.
Something we saw in Game 7, which was pivotal. I mean, anytime you can tie it up, whether it's 3 seconds left or not, is good. But a minute and 21 seconds later in Game 7, Hampus Lindholm ties it up, kind of sucks the momentum out of the Toronto Maple Leaf sails. Here, a minute 07 after Brady Tkachuk scores, Morgan Geekie ties it up. So that bodes well for the Boston Bruins, obviously.
Yeah, and it's Geekie that seals the wall off, and we believe it deflected off him and went into the middle of the ice where David Pastrnak was. And, you know, Bobrovsky's thinking shot. He comes out to attack. He's outside the blue paint, and then when Pasta slides it into to Zacha, he can't really finish the play, and there's some contact with the goaltender, but the goaltender initiated it.
And he's outside the crease.
And then Geekie comes in and makes a good shot. That, you know, it makes it look easier than it is, but he had to get it up quick and keep it under the crossbar.
I'll tell you what, like that key moment you mentioned in Game 7, there's no bigger moment in Game 7 than the Bruins tying it up, right? It changed everything. It made everybody feel better. The arena felt great. Right now, you look at that goal that Geekie ends up scoring, pivotal moment in this game, because all of a sudden it was like Florida was coming. They had 2 or 3 good shifts before their goal. Or they had some, remember that one shift where they absolutely owned the Bruins for an extended zone time, and the Bruins got out of it. Yes, they end up scoring the goal on that turnover, but then the Bruins come back a minute later. That changed the tenor of this period.
So we discussed Mason Lohrei several times throughout this postseason. You know, young rookie defenseman coming in, playing like he doesn't have, you know, he's not squeezing the stick too tight. I know that's a cliche, but playing kind of free. We saw that in Game 7, Brick. You were talking about how you liked his confidence. And here in Game 1 in the second round, had several chances. He ends up scoring similarly by kind of attacking and going up and being up on the play.
Well, I know when he first came into the lineup in the Toronto series and talked to Cam Neely, so what do you expect out of 6 tonight? He goes, we love what he does with the puck. We just got to make sure he's making the right decisions defensively so that he doesn't get hurt out there, doesn't get scored against. And what we've seen tonight with him with the puck and reading the play and joining the play and creating offense has been absolutely terrific. He got robbed of a goal. He ripped one off the pipe with the goaltender down.
Bobrovsky was down.
Yeah,
DeBrusk knocked, cross-checked into him. I think it was Forsling that knocked him into him, and unlucky that it just hit the post. But his finish was spectacular, short side shelf. And you know what? Wotherspoon made a couple of great plays on that. Kept the high log in at the blue line, threw it behind the net, and then he makes a great pass. He doesn't panic with the puck out at the blue line, and Lohrei wisely stayed deep after he pinched down the wall.
Yeah.
Lohrei has 3 hits in this game. He's got himself only one shot on goal because the other one, as Brick said, ended up hitting the post. He's got so much confidence, and that's a great thing. He admitted to Razor before the game, right, how nervous he was. And I talked to him about before that Toronto, his first playoff game. He said by far the most nervous he's ever been when it comes to hockey. But yet he still has that little something called youthful bliss, confidence.
Yes.
It's what it is. And sometimes it works against him. He might try and do something that's going to work against him and the team.
You got to take the good with the bad. I mean, obviously cleaning up the bad.
You have to. You have to work with it. You got to massage that and get some of that out of his game. But I'd rather, the old saying, try and control or work with that than have to try and find that. Like a lot of the stuff that he has, you can't teach.
Exactly.
So, that was a great shot too, short side. So the second goal of the game, just like the first goal, up high, and the third goal up high too on Sergei Bobrovsky.
Yeah. So Mason Lohrei with 2 points in these playoffs, including the first round so far. Brandon Carlo, okay, obviously something we discussed, kind of getting to the arena. I believe it was 6:05. Wasn't sure if he was going to make it. He stayed back home because his wife, Mason, gave birth to their second child, Crew Carlo. But of course, he makes it, is in warm-up. And, guys, scores. So another goal by a defenseman in this one to make it 3-1. We saw a goal like that earlier as well in the postseason, but Brandon Carlo getting on the board.
We were a little bothered by the too many men on the ice call. A little bothered by the number of icings that you felt were unnecessary. There are other plays to be made, and icing not being one of the options. And then finally they make a play from deep in their own zone and get moving up the ice, and that's what led to the Carlo goal.
Derek Forbort with a beautiful play. He kills the play when the puck gets kept in, rimmed around after another lost face-off. I got a hunch we're going to be talking about losing face-offs. Even if the Bruins go to the Stanley Cup final. I just don't think it's a strength, obviously. But anyways, Forbort kills it. He kills the play. The change of point of attack was stopped. And then what does he do there, Brick? They get the puck out, up the wall. Really good read by Frederick, too. Pressuring the defenseman right there, and then eventually he gets support from Coyle, who has 2 guys watching him, right? And he pulls up.
2 big guys.
Yeah, I mean,
big-time players.
Yeah,
and Tkachuk.
And Tkachuk there, and they both watch Charlie turn away from him, and nobody has Carlo screaming in from the right side.
Yeah, and there was good traffic in front of the net, and Carlo had to pick his spot. Not a lot of room to fit that puck where he put it, and it was spot on.
You pointed out all 3 of the goals.
All 3 up high.
Up high. Yeah. On Sergei Bobrovsky. All right, let's take a look at the game summary so far through 40 minutes. Shots pretty even. No one capitalizing with the man advantage on either side. Hits in favor of the Boston Bruins, and face-offs, as we talked about.
Is this game being played in Toronto for all these hits? I'm missing
the count.
It's been physical, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's been physical. We haven't seen too many. I mean, some scrums around the net.
Stay out of them. If Florida gets into them this period, if they get down more, stay out of them. That's what they want. Don't get involved with that. That tires you out too. You know that getting into those scrums.
And details. Third period is about details. You got to minimize the icings. Got to win a few more draws. Make some really high percentage plays. Play the game and play the period that's in front of you. Don't play the score just yet. Maybe when you get to the 10-minute mark, you can think about maybe doing some things differently. But keep playing the way the game plan was designed for this third period.
I like that. Play the period that's in front of you. That's it for us. Remember, we're going to have post-game on NESN after this game between the Florida Panthers and Boston Bruins. Enjoy.